All right, welcome back. So I've actually made a number of videos that I've decided to scrap. The first video I accidentally showed a password. Second video I was just kind of going on about stuff not related to any of the series that I'm doing, which might have been interesting, but it's like I think I also like showed my personal email a lot during that too. So let's uh, let's keep doing the self-managed network series. So in the last
All
video,
right.
I gave a demonstration of some of the value of doing this. So the value of some of the value of doing this, of course, is that you get access to open source software, which can be quite powerful. You have things like a customer relations management CRM tool. So if you're looking for a job, you can put all the recruiters in there. Customer relationship management is what it is. So it's a tool that uh, can help you manage interactions with customers throughout their life cycle, from initial contact to long-term loyalty. So if you're looking for a job, you can fill that out with recruiter upon recruiter as you come across them, and it can help you manage. It can help you remember because sometimes, especially in this day and age with job searching, where you get a lot of kind of like some recruiters that it's kind of hard to remember their names, and uh, it's hard to remember who you spoke to, and one is giving you real leads and one is just sending you spam. It's like, it's a pretty powerful tool in this day and age. Um, so uh, so yeah, that's one of the things you get is a CRM. You also get a replacement for Excel, which is great. Spreadsheet software. Learning how to use spreadsheets at a high level is an invaluable life skill. And you get the amount of space you allocated to it. So in my case, I allocated 300 gigabytes in my virtual machine. So that's a much better deal than 15. Although we did look at Google Drive. So far, I have spent a little bit of money on this. I was lucky to get free gear from my friends and neighbors, so I saved a lot of money that I would have otherwise had to spend. If you're a small business, you are going to have to spend, I would say, a few $1,000s on this. You're going to have to buy your NUC. You're going to have to for your pfSense firewall. You're going to have to buy, just a cheap switch, but you also have to buy like a file server, which could get pretty expensive. It's going to be more expensive than the NUC. So I'd say probably no more than 5,000 for this all said and done, but no less than 1,000. I would say be prepared to pay at least 1,000, which I don't know if that's good or bad. And then the other thing is that's the cost of the raw materials. So if you're a business, you probably like forget about setting it up yourself. Like this guide is meant for um, somebody's grandma to be able to do it, but as we saw now, like I'm a 10-year tech professional. And I've had to troubleshoot a number of things, and I'm actually going to need to submit a pretty serious errata as well. So let's start there. I'm gonna pause it, bring up the email that I sent to Louis Rossman, and we'll start there. All right, so this is a great place to start this video off. So I sent him an email. I tried to send it from my self-managed email, which is just from my home server, but I don't have an SMTP relay. So that's basically like a an email laundering service where it takes your place where you're sending your email from and gives it a reputable signature so it can be accepted from other places and not just outright rejected as spam. Spam is one of the original problems of the internet, and really the only way it can be dealt with is to only accept emails from reputable sources. So if you are not a reputable source, as my home server is definitely not, you can pay to become one. And then not only that, you get uh, so yeah, you can pay to become one using an SMTP relay, and then it can give you more resources to manage the mail as well. You can send out bulk mails in more optimized ways. But anyways, here's my email I sent to Mr. Lewis Rossman. I tried to send it from my self-managed, and sure enough, it fell through. I think his Rossman group.com just automatically rejected it. I think that's probably through a postmark SMTP relay. So from my home server, rejected. From Gmail, I got a reply. So let's briefly look at what I wrote, and then we'll look at the reply. And then we'll go from there. So what I wrote was a RADA submission for your self-managed network guide. Thank you, Mr. Rossman, for your guide on a self-managed network with a misspelling. I forgot the D. So far, I've been able to free up. Yeah, so just sucking is well, hold on a second. Uh, so yeah, just trying to not get yelled at by the giant chair. And then the actual errata is here. This is what actually matters. So let's see what his response was. Thank you. Did you make the edit? I set it up so that anonymous edits are allowed even without registering. No, not yet. So there we're at. So that's a great reply. I love that reply. So let's go and make the edit, and that'll be a really good action for this video. Okay, so to make the edit, we're going to go to my channel and try to get a link to the guide. All right, welcome. Okay, so we got to look at an older video. I think part 32 probably has it. Welcome back. So yeah, part 32 has it. Perfect. So so now we're going to go to the guide, which unfortunately has been causing a lot of problems for my computer. It's not meant to be a guide that runs smoothly. It's meant to be a guide that has quality information. So I'm willing to take that trade-off. It has caused problems on my computer, but the problems have been fairly easy to rectify, except in this case. Let's just try to go to the guide directly. So this has a like a different kind of link. Uh, well, shoot. See, it gives me this YouTube link, which I think it's having difficulty with. Oh, here we go. So let me try. Get rid of that. Okay, we'll just go to Fudo there, and I think it's under blog. Oh no. Projects? No. Maybe it's under projects. Well, anyway, let's try to get to it. I'll just go through my history. So type in FUTO. I'll do that inside a Google product. Okay, and then we'll go to oh yeah, so it's a Wikipedia, yeah. So there we go. This is probably the most direct. All right, so it looks like we got a problem. This might be a short video. That would be okay if that were the case. Yeah, it's not loading. So, all right. Well, I don't know what the problem is. I feel like the problem might be on my local area network because, well, let's do a speed test because that'll help. So if I have a Yeah, well, there we go. So, um, okay. So one of the things you can do is plug it. So let's plug it direct um, into my uh, device from my ISP and see if the speed test performs better. Because then that's pretty good evidence that the issue is on my local area network. So let's take the cable out of here, which is the switch, and then put it into here, which is the yeah, which is that. Okay, perfect. So you should have seen my yeah. So you can see it switch over to Wi-Fi. Let's do that again now that it's on the Wi-Fi. It should switch over to yeah. It switched over to wired. So I don't know if we're doing wired or Wi-Fi right now, but there you have it. So we have my awesome speed that I pay $15 less per month to get, and it's symmetrical. So we can see there's obviously something going very wrong in my local network that we get such good speeds like that plugged directly into the device from the ISP, but yet such poor. Oops, okay. But yet such poor results when it is plugged in through my local area network. So let's see what that looks like. We can see I'm on the Wi-Fi again. So let's hit it again while I'm on the Wi-Fi. Okay, so while I'm on the Wi, well, this is interesting. We're only on 10 seconds on 10 on the Wi-Fi. I mean, it is switching over, so not sure what's okay. We're still on the Wi-Fi, which is kind of concerning. We probably should be on wired by now. Okay, so we're on the Wi-Fi, um, and we get half the speed that we got before on the Wi-Fi. No good. No good at all. But that's just the Wi-Fi. That's not even my own self-managed local area network. That's still a network provided by the ISP. So something is rotten in the state of Denmark for sure. First of all, it's not even switching over. Um, yeah, that's bad. Okay. All right. Well, that's really bad. Okay. That's really bad. And we should see now, I shouldn't be able to get into, so if I do a bash and then cd, and then I try to SSH into like my dot two, that should fail because I'm not on that network. I'm on the wired network. So let's pull up another one and see what IP I have. So we'll do IP config, and we'll look at what I've got for the wireless. And yeah, so I don't even have the same. I don't have a dot five on uh, any of my ones now. We can see the actual Ethernet adapter. So this should look familiar. And this is a kind of a network engineer channel. So what does this mean? Anyone? Three, two, one. Uh, DHCP failed. It failed to get a DHCP address from the DHCP server. And now we set up a DHCP server in the guide, so um, we should have Yeah, we're not even gonna get access to this now too because we're not on the right network. Oh man. Well, let's try this. Let's try to. Um, I have a feeling that the problem is the switch. Uh, so all I did was unplug the Ethernet cable from my PC and plugged it back in because I was hoping that the DHCP process would succeed. Um, Man, this is annoying. Okay, now I unplugged my switch and replugged it back in. The thing is, if it's getting a 169 uh, 254 address for not getting DHCP, then it is sending out a DHCP request. So really the issue is entirely on the pfSense box. So we need to get into the pfSense box somehow. Um, so if the problem is the switch, we might be able to just get into the box to look around by unplugging the black box from the switch and plugging it directly into the PC. So let me try that. I have a longer Ethernet cable here. It should make it easier on me. There we go. Oops, wrong cable. Um, yeah, I got a bunch of short. I thought it would be fine to buy a bunch of short ones because I thought it would be neat and tidy off the corner. But what I didn't realize is I'm going to be needing to do a lot of like annoying troubleshooting. So like having a longer cable means that you can just like put things in random places rather than having them limited by the cable length. But so now what I'm going to do is unplug the connection to. Oh well, there it is, right? Oh, was that the problem? No, it's not. It's still not turning to a. So the cable isn't like really snapping in to the port very well. So I thought that might be the problem. But the port is lighting up in green. Um, but that is a little bit of a concern that it's not seating itself in there very well. Okay, so let's move on now. Yeah, I mean it's lit up in green. It should be fine. So let's unplug it from my box here. Put it in there. Okay, and now I'm direct to the firewall. So because I'm direct to the firewall, presumably things should work better. Ah, so oh yeah, what the hell? I'm plugged in. Okay, well, so much for that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. So I'm direct to the firewall, so that means I can log in. So I'll do that off camera. Oh, there we go. And the symbol changed. So yeah, I think there's something wrong with that $15 switch. I mean, that's just it's not a good switch, and then it could cause like ARP collisions and stuff. I feel like that switch it was not a good a good choice. All right, I'm back and I'm logged in. So let's go to diagnostics and uh, what's tables? I'm just curious what that is. No entries exist. Um, I mean the thing is like it like it works now. So we're not going to see a problem with DHCP because, yeah, like we're going to see all the DHCP leases assigned. Oh, this is interesting. We see the DHCP leases, in fact, have not been assigned to. Oh, right, right. So because now this makes sense. Because we're connected directly into my PC. We see none of the DHCP leases have been assigned to the virtual machines. That's because we're not connected to the virtual machine at all. To connect to the virtual machine, we have to connect to the switch and then fork off the connection to both my machine and to the virtual machine and to the virtual machines, but via the T5600 server that I have. So okay, so let's do that. So I'm gonna unplug from my um, machine. So you'll see that fail over to my Wi-Fi. Which let's see if we see that. Yep. So it failed over to Wi-Fi down there. If I refresh the page, this page is down. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is I'll clean up. I had a Raspberry Pi connected that I was gonna use stuff on, but let me get rid of that because I'm not doing anything with that for a while. All right, just put that off. Okay, over here. All right, so now let's plug the. Okay, so now we've got three connections from the switch. We're going to do a connection from the PF sense box to the switch, a connection to the server, and connection to my PC that I just do whatever I want on gaming, uh, this video, whatever I see fit. Oh, okay, so there we go. We should have all the connections back now. So we should have access to this come back. And there we go. So therein lies the problem. I think it's pretty obvious that the Switch, $15 piece of crap Switch, uh, crapped out. Like it's just a shitty $15 Switch, and it already broke. I feel like that's definitely the problem. Let me pause it and be right back. All right, so I think we successfully figured out what the problem is. The problem is I have a very cheap Switch. This was the Switch recommended in the guide, and I think it already broke. So I did already try unplugging it, plugging it back in again. Unfortunately, it is an unmanaged Switch. There are a number of things. Well, yeah, honestly, there isn't much we can do to check it out because it's unmanaged. We can check out the other sides of the connections, but it's not going to tell us much information. Oh, oh, well, actually, I don't have the connection set up right. Yeah, okay. Well, now that oh, okay. Well, maybe that was the problem the whole time. Let's do a speed test. Yeah, I just had the. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the problem the whole time. I'm pretty sure I had things plugged in correctly. Um, but let's refresh this page, make sure that all these can come up. Uh, okay, they're not coming up. Let's do a speed test. Just do it here. All right, so still got slower speeds, which is not cool. Not cool at all. Let me do another thing. So we've got so ports. Yeah. So this is a GS305. I've got the connection from it to the firewall PFSense. On port 1 of the GS305, I actually kind of forget what it was. Yeah, GS305. I'll look again. Uh, GS305. Yep, GS305. Um, so previously I had. Let me test again because I changed the connection around. I don't know. It's the same. Well, that's not good. Um, yeah. So here's the GS305. Um, I think there's something special about port 5. Let's take a look at the documentation, uh, the product data sheet. So yeah, this is exactly what I have right here, and I had the connection to the pfSense machine plugged into port 1. The pfSense machine has a special network interface card I paid about $60 for, so it has higher speeds. So I think if it is the case that these ports aren't all created equal and one is a higher speed than the other, then the one that is the higher speed needs to be plugged into the firewall. And I have a feeling that might be port 5 because we can see it's not a part of this group here. It's on its own. So let's figure out if that's the case from the data sheet. Okay, so here's the 305. So we've got 5 gigabit ports. Um, we've got bandwidth of 10. Uh, oh wow, it actually supports more VLANs than the other one. Uh, all right, so yeah, I don't think it's the case that that one of the ports is faster than the others. I mean, that typically is the case in a switch. You'll see like it has uplink ports that are faster than edge ports. But I don't think that's the case here. Um, well, I mean, we've got actual connectivity now, which is good. But we've got if I control this, if I refresh this page, we don't have these machines up, which is quite bad. Uh, quite bad. Okay. Just for my own sanity, let's relabel. Let's redo some connections. So I've got that 5 port that's kind of standalone from the other ones. Just for sanity's sake, I think that goes into the pfSense because that kind of looks like a uplink port from other switches, even though we saw from the spec sheet all this the ports are the same. Now my own PC is PC number 1, we'll say, so I'll plug that into port 1, and then my cloud server will leave that plugged into port 2. So connections are all rearranged, but we should still get the same result for the speed test. Yeah, which is a very poor result. I'm quite disappointed in that result. Especially the upload's a little better now, but I mean, I could get double that simply for connecting to the directly to the ISP device, combo device. Um, and then even worse, all of these are still down. So if I try to SSH into this, it's just gonna lag out because none of those are up. Man, that is too bad. Well, here's a refresh button. Oh, let's restart the service. Why not? Let's see if it can. Let's see if it can serve up these virtual machines. But there's a static IP. See, this is a static IP. So like we should be able to get in the .2 even if there's no DHCP lease. Oh, and we can. Okay, well, isn't that wonderful? All right, so let's go check on the virtual machines next. So I'm going to start up the graphical user interface for .2, and we'll look at the virtual machine manager. So we got to log into it through BNC. Man, but the performance is very, very bad. Why is it taking this long just to log in? Yeah, I mean, we've seen through my troubleshooting that my switch is definitely a problem. Um, I do have another switch here, but I might have trouble uh, configuring it for these purposes. It's quite a different kind of switch, but it might be worth a shot. The problem with it is though it was given to me because um, it was part of the like it wasn't, it was just kind of a throwaway piece of gear and it wasn't really working so well, so it got thrown away. But it got thrown away to me. So like I don't know if it's going to be a viable alternative. And I can't get the rack rails off of it, which makes it annoying to put off in the corner there. Uh, Perfect. Okay, I have the right um, screwdriver for this now. So yeah, I'll try. I'll try this other switch. This is a much better switch than that one. That one is garbage. And we'll see if that makes a difference. The other cool thing about this switch is it is a managed switch. So that will be good. Okay, so I'm just taking the rails off of this one, the rack rails off of it. Oops. Change the settings on my screwdriver somehow. Oh, there we go. Or never mind. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, so now the rack rails are off. We'll just dump those in a box I've got that has a bunch of crap in it. All right, so next I need a power cable. Get this thing up and running. I'm just thinking this will be a viable solution going forward, so I'm willing to bet that when I plug it in, it won't just work, but if it does, that would be, it's worth just giving it a shot. All right, so I've got a power cable in there. All right, so it's now the status is blinking in red. It's going through a power on self test. Yeah, I mean, this didn't work. That's why it ultimately ended up in my possession. Uh, the other thing is this doesn't quite have all the ports I need. It's a fiber switch, so it has very limited Ethernet ports. All right, so yeah, I doubt we would see this turn. Yeah, it's just no, that's not going to work. It's not even configured to. It has to be configured to use the correct ports. I mean, this is a viable solution going forward, but it's going to take a lot of configuration, and it's going to take public admission that I have this device. Uh, so, um, so yeah, ideally the device I bought and paid for already for $15, um, which can be steep in today's economy if you have a lot of stocks. Uh, Hopefully we can get that to work. Oh, I need to. Yeah, so it's this is the world of open source. It was all working beautifully, and then all of a sudden overnight, it just randomly stops working. And this is the power of gear as well, right? It's like if you rely on really bad gear, you're not going to get very good results. And the main problem is this port on my PF Sense, and I wish I could show this. There's something about it's not plugging in. Like the one of the ports on my card is like a little bit busted. One of my ports on my cards is not accepting a snap-in from the RJ45 connector. So it's not the connector. It did that for multiple cables that it did accept that snap-in. It's the port. There. Now if you can see we've got the wired connection back. Um, but we should not, these probably won't come back. Um, we will get the connection back to the static IP, I think, but for some reason it's just not cooperating. So yeah, I think that's what you get when you buy a $15 unmanaged switch. It just doesn't work. So we can get into the firewall direct by recabling. We can get into the server, the cloud server by console. Um, we can get on the internet through my failover Wi-Fi connection or by recabling to the combo device. So, so yeah, we just need to figure out what to do about that switch, the replacement switch that I have that could be feasible for this. Um, yeah, it could work really well, especially if I buy a copper SFP module. So if I buy like a few of these, $10, pretty good. Yeah. So if I can get that to come to life, all I gotta do is buy a copper SFP if I ever want to expand. Um, and then since it's a managed switch, I need to configure the switch, which I have a lot of experience in doing. Um, it's one of the yeah. So I think that's it for this. Well, actually, no. Let's submit the errata to Fudo. And you know what? Everything's broken anyways. So what I'm gonna do is plug direct into the uh, combo device from my ISP because then I get the full 600. I don't get like my other features like the backup. I don't get like my only office anyway. It's down. So if we go to documents, it's down and it's going to be down until I figure out what to do with that switch that um, obviously does seem to be the problem. Um, yeah, I'm going to unplug the pfSense firewall, uh, plug in a uh, plug this in like that, unplug this, plug this in like that. All right, and now we should see this connection change to a wired connection after a while. Yep, this will still be down. This will be down, but the good news is this should be up. And then if I run the speed test again, boom, now we got the full speed. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, my now the cool thing about this is I didn't lose any of my files, right? Like they're still on the actual device. I can still get them in when I console in. They're still on the disk, so I can put the disk in a toaster even and get them that way. So all my files are still there. It's just my $15 switch, believe it or not, seems to not be working. So, all right. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I kind of the replacements which I have. Uh, I'm sure it would be fine to just publicly announce I have it, but I think I'll do this off camera. Um, oh, look. Oh, I think it's a problem on his end. I don't know what's going on with this. But yeah, oops, let's wait, 800? That's a bizarre result. That would be quite odd if I got 800 despite only paying for like 600. Yeah, there we go. That's an accurate result there. Okay, so yeah, this guide is down anyway. We could submit the correct errata. That would be a really good use of time. But it looks like everything is catastrophically failing. Um, on my own home network for the guide for everything. So that's going to be it for this video. Off camera, I'm going to see if I can replace that switch with a switch I already have. And then once I get uh, the switch working, everything should be good to go. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one. And in the meantime, I might work on other series. I know I let the Hugging Face series go because I couldn't afford or I could afford it, but because I didn't want to pay for the inference, and I wanted to get experience locally hosting. I can still do that on my device here. Um, what? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. That's weird. My fans on my GPU like don't continuously spin. They like sporadically stop and start. I never noticed that before. But so yeah, I could do other series in the meantime. Been meaning to do other series anyway. So that's it for this video and possibly for the series for quite a while, unless I can get that other switch up and working.